Order filled.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, October 25th, 2024, and we are going down with QQQ. Inverted H, inverted H, inverted H, inverted H, 555 inverted H, wide state, inverted H. I want to point out a couple things about this specific trade. Number one, we are trading Monday's expiration. Why is we plan on being in this trade for quite some time. Based on markets that reach about 500 in the underlying asset price, usually it causes scarcity. So what I am planning on doing on this specific trade is with the gap up, a large run. We've been away from the 21 moving average for quite some time on the 5-minute chart. I think, and I'll show you over a period of time as this develops, that we're going to go from $500 down to about 495-ish, somewhere around. So I believe it might be a long transition. That's why we're buying a farther out contract. I think we're going to come right back to where we started since the beginning of the day. So we're going to see this develop, and I'll give you some pointers and show you some observations of how we can know with a level of probability that this will work in our favor or it won't.
Horizontal line triggered on symbol QQQ.
And there's a $1 drop, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, if we would play a 45-minute cycle, we would lock in half of our gains. But since we're planning on staying in this trade longer than 45 minutes, if it takes that long or greater, we're going to lock in a equal reward to risk. Meaning every contract that we purchase, we're only going to risk $15 per contract. So what this means for a 1-for-1 is we're going to guarantee lock in $15 per contract right now, and we're going to let this ride out. I think we're going to get caught up in this range for a while before we just have an epic failure. So that's why we're not going to be as aggressive with our stop, because we want to give it enough time to trap all the buyers up in this range, and then when all the buying is done, you'll see that the sellers just come in and sell off. So that's what we're anticipating. Again, we're going to play this bar by bar as usual. If it takes a long time, we might have to cut the recording and then come back at a later time and kind of discuss, those moving elements. All right, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tell you what's going to happen before it happens, so you as the observer understand that experience and skill will dominate more than an algo, bot, indicators, etc. Real life experience of people that actually do it and know what they're talking about. So let's go over the stages of how it's going to break down. So let's go to the chart. All right, so right here is a control point. I expect it to break through that range, come down to this control point. Once it gets down to there, it'll break that, and then I expect it to come all the way down to this level. So again, we're going to see it break down in incremental changes, and while we're watching it hit these areas, you're going to see the little to no effort. Now, some people will be watching this. Again, there's multiple facet traders. There's short-term traders looking at the lower time frames, there's higher time. I believe, looking at my charts right now, that the big boys are out on lunch or they're just not here, all right? So when the big boys are not moving the market one way or the other, that means that everybody else is going to fight for a piece of the pie. And because of that, I anticipate the market dropping down to these levels incrementally and fail at those levels. You'll get some resilience to drop through them, but over time, you're going to see each level get broken until we get to our final destination, which is the low of the day. So we're looking at about 495.25, 495, roughly around that area. So again, I'm telling you this ahead of time so you know that we know what we're talking about. We have levels of experience, and we've been doing this for quite some time. All right, let me show you this. So on the 2-minute, we're going to anchor the fib from low of the day, high of the day. Then on the 5-minute, we're going to close of the day, high, or close of yesterday, high of today. Okay, I want you to pay attention to it. Already on the lower time periods, that minor retracement area, the 25-33% area, is slowly starting to get broken down. If we break the 25-33% on the 5 minute, you're going to see it break through that level. It might take some time, but then you're going to start seeing it come closer down to the 50% level on the 2 minute. You'll see the break down to the 50% on the 5 minute. If we get through the 50% on the 5 minute, the last ditch effort for people preventing this price from filling in that gap, they will have to step in, roughly speaking, around the 66-75% range on the 5 minute chart. Again, we're going to watch this and observe it. We're starting to get a little bit lengthy in this recording, so we might have to cut it soon and then come back later on as things start to develop all over again. We're starting to get into maple syrup movement. All right, so let's mark out these point of control areas. So right there, the lower end, right about there. And actually, let's just change the color real quick, and I think we're going to end it. Well, at least this session. So we're going to, hold on one second, once more. All right. There you go. I apologize. Sometimes I can't think and talk at the same time. All right. So those are the key levels that we're looking forward to in the future. We're going to end this recording at this point, and then we'll come back later on as it gets down into those areas. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, we're down to the second to last level that we had marked out from earlier. As you can see, we're all the way down to the 66% area on our 2-minute chart, roughly around the 50% on our 5-minute chart. I don't believe those areas will hold. We might have a reaction off of them, but I believe that this is going to go all the way, basically down to the low of the day and same exact location that we started the day before the run-up. So let me blow up the 1-minute chart. As you can see right here, those are the levels right here. That's where we're at. And I believe that we're going to go all the way. So again, we'll just leave this up for a little bit, have you visually worry about the 1-minute chart, and then we'll kind of bring it back if we don't get all the way down to the bottom over a period of time, and I'll show you all 3 charts again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're getting close to that low of the day. So if we break it real quick, we're going to just close out as it's dropping into that level. We're not going to stick around any longer.
Order filled.
And there's a $5 drop today, ladies and gentlemen. We went from the high of the day back down to the low of the day. As always, never forget, be a pro.